So hello everyone. So in this video I came with some basic problem for those people who is about to start C programming from beginner at all. So you can see here are total 15 problems. It will help the beginner to complete their basic on C. So here I am using CodeBlocks IDE. So you can also use Visual Studio or something else. So in CodeBlocks you can open a new file, new empty file, or Control Shift N. If we press Control Shift N, it also creates new file, and we have to save it like I set file name hello, and you have to also set the extension .c. See, if I'm using C program, that's why I use extension .c. Now save. If you save the codes, and the line will be colorful, and IDE will help to find the errors of your code. So if we look further at the first question, it says program that will print hello world. So now we move forward to the code. So hello world is a worldwide using sentence for beginner for every programming languages. So in the first code you can see, I put include studio.h here. Studio.h is header file, and means standard input output. So here the body of the code, and this is main, and its data type is integer. If we use integer data type, then we have to set its return type. So there is nothing to return, that's why I set the value of 0. Now I use a library function printf, and printf is using for print value statement and the console. So in here I use double quotation mark, and I type hello world, and you have to notice that most of the part you have to use semicolon at last. So if I run the code, so here you have to build the code and run the code, but in CodeBlocks provide an option build and run. So if I press, so hello world printed. So if I move to the second code, here says hello world, this is my first program, C is fun. So here I have to use new line and tab for print the code. So the output will be like this, like hello world, and there is a new line and next line, that means new line, and there is a huge space, that means tab. So now I will go to the code. So you can see include stdio.h main return 0, that's the basic code. Now we have to notice that printf. So printf hello world, this is my first program, C is fun. So what I did there, I use \n for the new line, so and \t for the tab. So if I run the code, you will understand. So there is hello world, and I use there \n, that's why it took me to the new line, and I use there \t for the tab. Tab means big space. So hopefully you understand the code. So now I will move to the third problem, and this is a little bit complex. So here is the question is how to write a comment in C programming language. So here you can see the question is how to write a, then there is a new line comment in C programming language. So here we have to suffer with this quotation mark and this backslash. So here you can see I wrote the code, but you can see there provides an error. You can check the error pressing F2 on the keyboard. So you can see here a lot of error. Now we will fix the error. So the question is how, and for this quotation mark we can see the line is over. So fix the problem, we use backslash. So now you can see this is valid. Now if I run the code, but you can see the backslash has not printed there, but we are using backslash in this. So fix the problem, we use another backslash. So now if I run the code, you can see there print a backslash. So here we have to use another quotation, another double quotation. So I use another double quotation. So you can see here provides the error, that's why it marks red. So now I have to use another backslash on that. So if I run the code, so you can see the both of the quotation mark has been printed. So hopefully you got the code. Now I will move to the number 4 problem. So what it says, program that will declare an integer, floating point, number, character, then it will initialize them with values and print those values. So here I declare integer and I set the variable name as I, and I declare float and set the variable named f, and declare character and set the variable as ch, and I initialize them with values like integer I equal to 5, float f equal to 3.14, 15, 93, and character equal to a. So you have to notice in the character we have to use a single character and must use quotation mark. But it says print those values. So the integer value equal to %d and %d for integer data type. So for integer data type we use %d, and I use backslash then for create new line of this. So the floating point value %f, we use %f for float data type, and the %c for character data type. Then I use the variable there for initialize them. So if I run the code, so you can see it prints my values which I give to the which I initialize to them. And now in the 5th problem, what it says, declare a variable uninitialized. So I declare a variable and I didn't initialize it. So in the next, declare and initialize a variable in one statement. So in one statement, integer g equal to 5. So why it calls one statement, like integer a, and I can set the variable a equal to 5. So you can see there creates, so there I create two statements. So but in B it says for initialize initialize in one statement. That's why I initialize in one statement like integer g and values of g equal to 5. Declare and initialize multiple variables with different values in one statement. So again, integer b, integer c data type, and I set them in different values. So we have to notice that the variable must not same, otherwise it will provide error. So in the first statement, declare and initialize multiple variable with same value in one statement. So here multiple variables d, e, f and same value like 8, 8, and f also will be 8. And now I print the code like all the data types, percentage d for a, percentage d for integer g, then percentage d for b, percentage d for c, then d for d, percentage d for e, then percentage d for f, and n used for create new lines. So the variables of this data types a, g, b, d, e, f. So if I run the code, so you can see the value are printed. So I didn't set the value of a, so it provides a garbage value. So, and the problem 6, program that will take your age in years as input and print it. So I will input like, so I will put input like this. If I put 20, it will print my age is 20. Then if I put 21, it will print my age is 21. So now I will move to the code. So in the main function, I take a variable n and data type integer. Now I printf enter age in year. So it will print enter age in year. So for this line, so it will print enter age in year. Now I scan the variable integer as an input. I will put the values in n, then I will print my age is percentage dn, the variable which I take as input, then it will return 0 for integer. So if I run the code, say it asks for age. If I set the age 25, so you can see it prints my age is 25. So it's a very simple code. And in the 7, what it says, that will receive the values of integer, floating point number, character from the keyboard and print those values. So first of all, it will scan 5. It means at first it will take input as integer, and second as float, and third as a character, and then it will print those values. If I move to the code, so here I take the three types of data: integer, float, character. So I set them. So I set the variables as I, F, C, H. Then I scan those variables like for integer percentage d, percentage f, percentage c, and for scanning the value we have to use an ampersand at the beginning of the variable. So in the printf library function, the integer value percentage d, so basically I put those values to the printf function. So if I run the code, so first of all I have to put a integer variable like 5, then the float variable 2.3, then a. So you can see the value 5 2.3 a. So in the scanf you also write the scanf function like this, scanf and line by line, but this is a shortcut for taking lines, and you have to remember that at the beginning of the %c you have to give a space, otherwise it may not be work for character. So if I move to the problem 8, then program that will take 3 integer numbers from keyboard but assign only first and last inputs to the variable and skip any assignment of the middle one. That will take the number like this, but they will skip the middle. So in the printing it will skip this middle number, it will skip, like first value 20, last value 100, and middle one is missing. So if I move to the code, so I declare the variables integer first, middle, last, and I scan these three variables first, middle, last, and I print only first and last value. Only I print. That's why middle one is skipped. And if I run the code, so if I set the value first one 5, middle one 4, it takes middle one input because I used here n% middle for taking the input. So last element is 8. So you can see first value is 5 and last value is 8. So middle one 4 skipped. So at the 9, this is a little bit complex rather than other. So it will declare variable and data type will be double and boolean. Double is one kind of float. Double data type is extended version of float. So the double value is 3.14 e plus 00. So you can see there it uses as exponential form. So now I will move to the code. So I set here my double 3.14 and I set the value, and then I set boolean data type, and boolean data type bool equal to my boolean equal to 1. So you can see for the exponential form I use %e. So if we use %e, it will print exponential form, and for the boolean I use %s. So basically I use there a conditional operation. If my boolean is 3.14 e plus 00, so if true it will print 0, and if false it will print 1. You can also use if else. And if I run the code, so the double value is that and boolean value is 0. So in the 10 program that will declare the variable is data type long integer, long integer, long double, short integer, and basically this variable are same, but it extend the byte of the memory. So if I move to the code, there is long integer a. So you can see the byte is high and long integer, and its byte is also high, and long double, its byte is also high, and cross the and move to the exponential. And then short integer, it's the lower byte. So, and I print the code, and percentage LD is keyword of long integer data type, then LLD for long integer, then LE for long double, HD for short integer. So here you can see I use big E. So if I, for the big E, it prints E as big there. So if I type there short E, so it will print short E there, and the remaining part not need to be explained. So the question number 11, unsigned integer, unsigned long integer, unsigned long integer, unsigned short integer, then initialize them with values and print them. So read the question carefully. So unsigned value, long integer value, long integer, short integer value. So look carefully how I declare the unsigned values there. So unsigned integer, and I set the variable UI, then unsigned long integer ULI, unsigned long integer ULLI, unsigned short integer USI. So I initialize them with values. So in the printf, so for the unsigned I use %u, for the unsigned integer %u, and it will print this value. And for the long integer I use lu, for the long integer I used %llu, and the short integer I use %hu. So here the variables. So now if I run the code, so the value has been printed. Now on the problem 12, program that will define a constant and print the values. If I move to the code, so I use constant float pi equal to 3.14, constant flow to ratio 1.54. So I print pi equal to percentage fn and ratio %fn. So if I run the code, so that prints 3.14 1.54. but you have to notice why I use .2 there. So if I use .2 there, it will count till 2 from the floating point. So here 3.14. So 2-bit has counted. So if I use 3, so 3-bit will count it. So in the 13, the program that will define a constant using define and print the value. So as I told you before, C programming has C language has some library function, and we have to define. So in the C language we can define a variable globally. So you can see in the code I define pi equal to 3.14. so I define pi 3.14, and I can use anywhere in the code. So I set height equal to 200, and the value of height %n, and the printf the value of pi dot 2f %s. So I told point 2, so I told about point 2 as before, and pi. So if I run the code, so height is 200, pi is 3.14. And the 14 program that will define a global and local variable with the same name but with different values, and then do the following steps order. So read the question carefully. Print the value of the variable before defining the local variable. Print the value of the variable after defining the local variable. Explicitly print the value of variable as global. So what global variable means, like it's a local variable because it uses under main function. So if the function doesn't under main function, so it will be global function. So here integer a equal to 12, it doesn't contain under main function, so this is a global variable. So what it says, at first print the value of the before defining the local variable. So I comment out and doesn't define the variable. So at first local is 20. So second, print the value of the variable after defining the local variable. You can see I use the global variable a equal to 10. So now I will print global a, and again I declare integer a equal to 20. So this is a local variable. So if I run the code, so global equal to 10 for the first statement, then I declare a equal to 20, then a, so again, so the local variable became 20. So again global %d a, again global called, that's why 10 has been printed. So hopefully we will determine global and local variable. Set the last question, program that will take a floating point number as input from keyboard and use printf function to the followings. So read the code carefully. So first one, print the number right justified with 10 columns. So 10 columns I use, it means using 10 space there, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Then so there 10 space. So at second, print the numbers to be right justified to 2 columns. So 2 columns 1 2. C, print the number rounded to 2 decimal places. So for 2 decimal places 0.2. And D, print the number rounded to integer without using conversion of typecasting. So without typecasting I use 0.0, that's why it will remove the floating part. And the last one, print the numbers in exponential notation or scientific notation. So you know how to declare scientific notation, it's %e. So if I run the code and the input is 123.098, so step by step we down the code. So that is some basic problem for beginners. If you have done with these problems, hopefully you will move to the difficulties step by step. So thank you so much for paying your attention to my video, and if you face any problem, please don't be shy to ask me in the comment box, and like and subscribe our channel. So if you like the video, then like and subscribe our channel. So thank you so much everyone, and assalamu alaikum, bye bye.